Sup snakes, in today's video I'm going to be ranking Fallout 4 companions because there are quite a lot of them, so it should make for a good tier list. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so for this ranking I'm going to be including companions that are in the DLC, I'm going to be including a companion that has two versions, and we're just going to rank them based off of my opinions, obviously, and their quest, their backstory, how good they are in combat, and if they're annoying or not, obviously, because that's a big factor in having companions in Fallout. So don't forget, I'm trying to get monetized on this channel. Watch 2 of my videos if you like me after this one. It helps out the channel a lot, and let's do it. Let's do it. All right, we're starting off with Synth Curie. I like Synth Curie a lot, and I included Synth Curie and normal Curie, Robot Curie, on this list because I think like they are fundamentally 2 different companions in like a meaningful way. It does change who she is as a companion, and I like Synth Curie because she's more self-actualized as she wanted to be a person, not a Miss Nanny robot. So I'm gonna rank her in the B tier. I also think her backstory and just her becoming a human is really interesting, or a synth, whatever you want to call it. She's compelling. However, she isn't like the best in combat, and that ranks her a little bit lower for me, but she is a good and interesting companion. Strong, I like him as a brute force companion. He's great to have. His backstory isn't the most interesting, and he, much like Fox, who is my favorite companion of Fallout 3, can get a little grating when you travel with him for a long time because he's a loud super mutant. So I'm gonna put him in D. I don't tend to bring him along very much, but I don't think he's a terrible companion. Deacon, a crowd favorite. The voice actor for Deacon's very nice. He does talk to a lot of people online and interact with community posts about him and things like that. But he's a liar, and I don't trust a liar. So I think I'm gonna have to rank Deacon at the C category. I know he's a very well-liked companion, however, he bugs me a little bit. So we're putting him in the C category. I'm not a big Railroad fan in Fallout 4. I just think they could be more interesting, and that the ending could have been better for them, and the location of their where their faction is located is a bit annoying. Just throwing that out there. This is just a generic automatron companion that you can have after that DLC, so we're gonna just firmly throw him in F. No interesting backstory. You can customize him however you want, which is cool, but he's not a compelling companion. All right, so now we have Codsworth. Codsworth knows your name. He remembers your history. He's got all the backstory involved. You met him beforehand, which definitely ranks him up a bit higher for me than other companions. So you know him from before. You obviously have a history, and it's cool that he can say a lot of different names. However, he can't say my real name, which is Nikki, but he can say the bad word names I give for myself. But he's going to lose a little bit for not being able to say my actual name. Now, I know they couldn't have voice recorded every single name in existence, but my name isn't that uncommon. So we're going to rank him a little bit lower. But I would put him here. However, he can wear a bowler hat, so he's going up here. Firmly in the B category. All right, now we have Curie once again, but the robot Miss Nanny version of her, the depressed version of her. We're going to put her in E category. She's not as actualized as she could be, and for that, she gets a little bit rank lower, mostly because we're sad that she's not the person she wants to be. So we're ranking him low. McCready, we met him in Fallout 3. He was a child, and now we can have a companion of him, and he talks about things that are inappropriate for this app. I like that McCready was brought back from a previous game. I love that we have a companion from a previous game. He's lost a little bit of his personality, but he makes up for it in his amazing skill in the battlefield and the fact that he's adorable, and I can romance him. We're going to put him firmly, y'all, in the S tier category. I love that he's a callback to Fallout 3. I love that he is adorable. The son backstory is depressing. Now I'm like, am I questioning it? I might be questioning it. I'm gonna put him back in. I'm gonna put him in A. The backstory is not as compelling as I wanted it to be. I wanted to hear more about the Capital Wasteland and less about his kid, to be honest with you. Nick Valentine. Nick Valentine has an elite intro story. You go, you find him in a vault, you save him. He is sassy. He unlocks computers for you. He will not romance you, no matter what. The biggest disappointment of Nick Valentine is the lack of romance. But regardless, I respect Nick not being into me, so I'm going to put him in the S category. He's great. His backstory is elite. It's cool. It's one of the most thought out. The connection to the main story of the game, putting Kellogg's brain in his head, his random, like he has a couple ambient things he says that are in Kellogg's voice, which is super creepy. So if you're idle with him for a long time, super interesting. I thought more could be done with that, but that's not Nick's backstory. It's more Kellogg's backstory and the main quest that could have been done more. So the fact that Nick has those couple idle things he can say in Kellogg's voice is pretty interesting, along with what he says initially after you put Kellogg's brain. Dog meat. Dog meat. Invincible dog meat. Beautiful dog meat. So smart. He loves a good teddy bear. He can wear goggles. He can wear armor. He can carry so many things. And he's adorable. And he's adorable. And he's a callback to all the other dog meats of the franchise. And inexplicably a purebred dog 200 and some odd years after everything went down. Makes no sense. Still love him. Still love him. He might be a synth. He might be a synth. He's very important to the main quest. But we don't hate on synths here, so we're going to put him firmly in the S category. I think if you put Dog Meat anywhere but the S category, it is a crime against humanity. Now we have Hancock. Hancock is a pretty interesting backstory, one of the best written backstories of all of the characters of Fallout 4. He is compelling. It would have been cool to see him transition from being a human into a ghoul. Like, I thought that would be a cool addition. There's a lot of like concept art, fan art about him being human and stuff like that, which is interesting. However, he could have more to him. He could have a lot more to him. I wished for more. I did enjoy his backstory. I think he's an interesting character. You can accidentally get on the wrong side of him if you do other quests before meeting him, and I think that's kind of funny as well. So we're gonna put him in the A category. There could be more to him. But he has a great backstory. I just wish I had seen more of it playing out in person, I suppose. Ada. Another great Automatron DLC character. You can give her legs. You can make her into whatever you want, really, which is a little weird. But she is interesting, and she has a great voice. However, her backstory is quasi-limited. There could be more, but she is the main driver of that DLC to some extent, and she's a decent companion. I'm going to put her along in the C category with Deacon Longfellow. Why the long face, Mr. Longfellow? He's a great DLC companion. He's interesting, but he isn't as memorable. I think DLC companions tend to not be as memorable, so I'm going to put him alongside Strong. Porter Gage, great companion. Love his look, love his armor. His backstory is rather interesting, but again, he falls victim to the DLC companion thing, which if you didn't play the DLCs right out the gate or right as they came out, he's a little less memorable, but he's a lot more memorable than Longfellow in my mind. Also, he's adorable and I love his look, so we're putting him up there. All right, we have Preston, the Garv man himself. Never stops giving you companion quests, although I will say he is an interesting character. Meeting him in the game is compelling. The way you're introduced to him is very compelling. You find him, and he is just a fun introduction overall in the game, so I like him. But if you have him as a companion, he is constantly giving you quests, and they're annoying. And having him not as a companion, but just as someone you occasionally interact with when you need to do Minutemen quests is a lot better than having him as a companion. So as a companion, that drops his ranking because he's constantly giving me those quests, the settlement quests. It's a cliche meme for a reason. He is a bit of a cliche, so we're putting him in the D category. Sorry, I love him, but having him as a companion is a lot more annoying than just occasionally interacting with him throughout the game. Next up, we have Piper. She calls you Blue, even if she hasn't seen you in your vault suit, which is suspicious as heck. However, we love her. We love her sister, Nat. She's feisty. Her introduction in the game is one of the most memorable introductions you can have of a character, and she is adorable. And we love her, and we love romancing her, and we love how cute and sweet she is. Her story is also incredibly compelling, along with Hancock's. I think they're somewhat intermixed for me personally, and I think it's interesting. Like they both got beef with Diamond City. You know what I'm saying? And now we have X688. X688 is one of my absolute favorite companions. He is. He is. I know people hate on the Institute, but he is snarky, he's mean, he's funny, he's blunt, he's to the point, and he is an excellent, excellent combat companion. Seriously, one of the best. Like, no complaints ever. And I gotta rank him in the A category for me personally. I love carrying him as a companion. Super, super good. Next up, we have Dance, who disappeared from my stack here for some reason. I really like Dance. I thought his backstory was really interesting. I thought they could have done more with it. I think making him the leader of the Brotherhood of Steel would have been really cool. That's in the quest files. It was on the cutting room floor. There's even audio about it. That would have been so compelling. But it didn't happen. So we have to put him in the A category. It is difficult to keep him alive if you go against the Brotherhood of Steel. It's also difficult when you find out he's a synth to keep him alive, but you can, and I wish he had just been able to join another faction after that point, but I still really love him. I felt it in my bones that I was forgetting someone, so excuse the hair change. I took a shower in between and remembered Kate. I don't know why the file didn't upload, but here it is. So we need to rank Kate. Where does Kate fall on this scale? I like her. I like her backstory. It's not a super in-depth backstory, like initially, but as you go on with her, you unfold more and more layers to her, which I think is really compelling. But after she gets clean, she hates like everything that the Soul Survivor does. Instead of like adding new things that she would like instead, she just doesn't like what you do to begin with, and then after she gets clean, she likes even less without adding new things that she does like, which makes her like less of a good companion after you do her complete quest, even though I think you should like morally do her quest because it is a good quest for her. But I think that drops her down into the B tier. Otherwise, I would have put her in A. But after you do her quest, she hates everything you do, which is annoying. So, but that is my ranking. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure, go watch a couple of my videos trying to get monetized, and have a safe and wonderful day in the wasteland, kids. I'll catch you in the next video.